The fields of life. In the quiet countryside of Kansas, there lived a farmer named Jacob. For over 40 years, Jacob devoted himself to cultivating the land passed down by his ancestors. He was known throughout the region not just for his bountiful harvests but also for his simple yet profound philosophy: care for the land as if you are caring for yourself. Jacob was a man of few words, but he was deeply respected. He believed in the value of hard work and dedication. However, as he grew older, now past 65, he began to feel the weight of his years. His calloused hands, once full of vigor, trembled slightly. The early mornings in the fields became harder to endure, and he knew it was time to rest. One day, his grandson Daniel, a young man recently returned from the city, visited him. Daniel admired his grandfather deeply and hoped to carry on the family tradition. Knowing Jacob's intention to retire, Daniel said, "Grandpa, you've worked so hard all your life. I want you to take a break, but before you do, I have one request. Please help me plant one last field. It's your favorite piece of land, and I want to learn from you how to make it as fertile as possible." Jacob smiled, touched by Daniel's sincerity. But inside, he felt weary. "I've worked my entire life," he thought. "One more harvest won't change much." So, Jacob agreed, though this time, his heart wasn't in it. He chose leftover seeds from previous seasons without checking their quality. He tilled the soil hastily and left most of the work to Daniel. "This young man needs to figure things out on his own," Jacob thought. The planting season passed quickly. When the harvest season arrived, Daniel invited Jacob to the fields to see the results. But instead of lush, green crops like Jacob's usual harvests, the field was filled with stunted corn and wheat, barely able to stand tall. Daniel turned to Jacob with a grateful smile and said, "Grandpa, this is my gift to you. I've decided to dedicate all the produce from this land to ensure you can live comfortably for the rest of your life. You don't need to work anymore, just enjoy the fruits of your labor." Jacob froze in disbelief. His heart sank as he gazed at the fields. He whispered to himself, "If I had known this land was for me, I would have poured all my heart and effort into it." He turned to Daniel, clasping his grandson's hands, and said, "Daniel, thank you. But this time, the lesson isn't just for you, it's for me too. I forgot that every action, no matter how small, leaves a result. Life is like this land, my boy. What you sow, you shall reap. Never neglect your efforts, not even for a single day." From that day on, Jacob didn't just enjoy his retirement, he spent time teaching Daniel all his knowledge about farming. He often shared with the young people in the community, "Live every day as though today determines your future. Never let yourself regret that you didn't do better when you had the chance."